Since I'm not smart enough to figure out how to make a countdown, you just get to see me walking away after I push the button. I told Erica we gotta do a video. I've been inspired listening to some of the other motivational people that I like, Gary Vee being one of them. I watched the one about, well, you watched it with me after when I redid about just being yourself. I think usually I'm pretty good at that.
You're pretty darn good at that.
Well, when we started, the first time I started doing a video, I said, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. It was all about the gym and training, and being me. Like, I worked my ass off in the gym or at work or whatever in life, but I like to enjoy life too. Like to have a beer. I like having a steak or a good meal or whatever. And I said, we got to do a video about this shit. Like, we started with that. It's kind of evolved into the Rebel and Last thing, the t-shirts. Erica's not represented today, but you bought that from somebody else. Did you get that on Amazon or?
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of cool shit on Amazon. We probably need to get our stuff on Amazon. We need to grow a little bit and get there.
Yeah.
And it started off as fitness and motivation, but then if you've followed us lately, it's all been kind of smart assery and beer and bourbon, and we got a wine one coming. And gee, it's kind of a weird theme, but
kind of a mix of it all.
Well, and then
living life and working toward your goals.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever your goals are, whether it's fitness, enjoying life, work, having cool shit that you like.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get sidetracked here, I'm certain. I like the cool shit that I like. Like, yeah, I've had people give me shit. You got 2 Corvettes? I'm like, yeah. One's 32 years old and the other one's 12 years old. Like, we didn't go and blow our retirement on either of these cars. But it must be nice. It is. But we worked hard for it. And we didn't do it on a whim. We talked about it. We got our ducks in a row, and we got this, and let's go do it.
Yeah. And it was a good deal.
Well, and you only live once. And if you're happy with being a hermit and living in a cave and not having anything, more power to you. But I want a few things along the way. Cool cars, cool guns, good beer, good steak.
Going and doing things.
Being able to see things and do things and experience things. All of that takes money.
It does. Yeah.
So I'm also at a point of I'm working to live. There was a point in life when I lived to work. Part of that's how I grew up. When you grow up on a family dairy farm, it's 365 days a year. And I'm grateful for the way I grew up. Like, learning the value of a dollar at a really young age. We were texting back and forth about the crazy shit we did. Like, if my dad were alive, he'd be 90 years old. He died when I was 20, when he was 58. But we did some really cool shit. Like, we built wind generators on the farm. We built a still. Like, had the feds out. What are y'all doing? We took our corn and we made corn alcohol and ran it in tractors. We weren't drinkers. Like, they weren't. I'm the drinker. Well, my oldest brother was a drinker. He's left us as well, but probably way more so than me. But
yeah, you used it for the tractors.
Well, and it was kind of like we did experiments like that. Like I grew up in northern Michigan, and we figured we ran pipes through the wood stove and had a separate water tank. We heated our water with the wood stove because we were in the house with it anyhow, as opposed to using electricity or gas to heat the hot water during those months. And that correlates with, like, we just put solar on our house, and I've had people say, you're crazy and you're gonna spend all that money. And I've been tracking it, and we're making, 20 kilowatts a day more than we're using, because I did a bunch of math before we bought our system, and we're selling it back with the plan that we're on now. And I've had people, oh, you're gonna get less for it than you pay. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna get a check at the end of the month, and the cost for our solar is gonna be about 60 to 65% of what our electric bill was.
Right.
And it's guaranteed for 25 years. Our plan's 20 years to pay it off. We're gonna send extra. We'll pay it off in 12 or 15 years. And then guess what? Yeah, we'll have to pay a little money for some upgrades along the way, or after that point. But our electricity's gonna be free.
And it might change how we do things a little bit. We were talking about like cooking and things like that may change.
Like, we'll use the oven minimally in the summer. Our house is all electric. So when you turn the oven on in the summer in an all electric house and you live in Texas and the AC's running, well, the AC runs more. So it's like, well, let's not bake on, if we're gonna bake something, let's plan the things we want to bake, that we can eat a day or two later and still be good. Let's like plan that way and turn the oven on once a week and do the bacon for the week in one day, rather than, because you can do it all in an hour in one day, or you can do an hour this day, an hour this day, an hour this day.
And you can see it peak on our.
We got apps that show what the meter's doing, what the system's doing, and it really opens your mind up to, wow, let's try to be more responsible.
Yeah.
It's same thing with working out, diet, training, business, having a beer. And if you're not I don't care if you're not a beer drinker, like that's great. But like, whatever it is that you do, if you drink coffee, you probably shouldn't. I've actually cut back on the coffee. And that's the business, that's my day job. It's related to coffee. But do your thing, keep your act together, and everything's fine. Work hard, play kind of hard. Don't play too hard. You play too hard, you hurt yourself. I used to play really hard. I'm getting older now, and I've got to be smarter about it.
Or I just make the bed. I'm better though.
Somebody's doing much better,
I'm doing much
thankfully.
Better. Yeah.
So, I guess what I want to get out there is be yourself, do your thing. This all part of this spurred on too. I sat down last night. I was out of town for work. I sat down to have a beer and dinner, and the manager there, who I'm there every Tuesday, he's like, "You've been here before, blah blah blah." He's like, "Your arms are just massive," and I was like, "Thanks." I said, "Well, yours could be too." And he said, "Well, no, I can't because I broke my wrist." And I was like, "That's the first word you got to get rid of." He looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "Can't." I said, "You can." Well, but I said, "You can have excuses, but you need to get rid of can't, and you get rid of the excuses." And he kind of wanted to argue with me, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave it at that. Then we talked about what he'd done in the past, and he'd done some cool stuff. But can't and try. Screw that. Like, you can, and just go do things. And that's kind of like with the nice car. I just figured out, I'm like, I want one. I'm going to do this. I just need to figure out how. And some of the other motivational people, they're like, you want a Lamborghini? Figure out how to get it. Like, it's just money. And there's always going to be more of that. And it's true. Like, to a certain degree, if anything, we hold ourselves back. But people ask me, how's the business going? I'm like, we do a few more things, but it's headed in the right direction. So we're going to start doing some local shows. You're going to see more stuff, more videos, not like this, but like with
shorter videos.
Yeah. We need to start doing some TikTok stuff like the kids are telling us.
TikTok.
So. Anyhow, hope everybody's having a great week. We'll put some more stuff out there, but I really got on the whole, I'm buying into the, I'm just going to be me. If you like it, great. And I think our following will grow by just doing that and not trying to. If you don't like me, I really don't care. Like, doesn't matter who you are. If you don't like me, oh well. And if you do, great. We
He's
cross.
really a nice guy.
But when we cross paths, we'll have a great time. But well, I'm also the guy too, though. Like, don't ask me a question if you don't want my honest opinion,
That
or
is absolutely
my
true.
truthful answer. Like,
Yeah. Don't ask.
I've gotten better when we're out and about sometimes, and just Eric was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, just I need to not say anything."
Yeah.
Because I can tell the crowd in the room is not my crowd. So rather than ruffle everybody's feathers, just give me a bourbon and I'll just keep my mouth shut and I'll keep my thoughts to myself. It's fine. And it's perfectly fine. Those people don't usually offend me. Like, and if they do, I just got to get over it. And if I offend you, you got to get over it. Like,
And the thing is, you got to agree to disagree sometimes.
yes.
And that's fine. You know, certain things don't get brought up in certain
circles.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. Like,
with friends and family and everything else.
figure out some boundaries.
Yeah.
Make some boundaries if you need to. And sometimes that makes the flow a little easier.
Right.
Because if you don't establish those and you get together and one of you brings it up every time, what are you going to do? Argue all the time? That's no fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if I was an attorney
And they were too.
and we were going to court every day, it might be fun. Like, that's what they do.
Right.
But I don't think I'm smart enough to. I'd probably be a good attorney. I just know if I don't have the ability to do the book work. So, yeah, I'm nice. Let's have fun. But I'm also very America. Let's shoot guns. Let's drink bourbon. Let's have a beer. Let's go work out like freaking animals.
And then go have a hamburger.
Yeah, and let's go from the gym to the hamburger and the Corvette. And if you know the route, there aren't many cops there. Let's go 150 mile an hour. It's fun. So, anyhow, I guess we'll leave it at that. You got anything else, Crazy Lady?
No, not today. There's more for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna do a mini vacation. Maybe we'll post some stuff from that this weekend. Looking forward to getting away.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good evening.